Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome. Today's topic is the 1998 Cleveland Indians MLB season. Again, the Tribe was playing home games at Jacobs Field. Their record that year was 89-73, 16 games over 500. Again, they won the Central Division by 9 games over the White Sox, who finished in second. Their winning percentage was .549, which is very good, and they led the American League Central Division all year. It was their 5th year at Jacobs Field. So they made the playoffs again, and in the ALDS, they won that in 4 games against the Red Sox, 3-1. Kenny Lofton had 2 home runs. Jim Thome had 2 home runs, and also Manny Ramirez. They all had 2 home runs. And then Dave Burba, Charles Nagy, and Bartolo Colon all pitched very well. And Mike Jackson picked up 3 saves. So that put us into the ALCS against the Yankees. And we lost that series in 6 games, 4-3. However, we were actually up 2-1 after 3 games. In the ALCS, Jim Thome had 4 home runs. Kenny Lofton had a home run, and Manny Ramirez had 2 home runs. Also, David Justice. Bartolo Colon picked up a win, and Dave Burba as well. The Yankees that year had one of the best seasons in MLB history. They were 114-48, winning percentage of .703. So anyway, we were beat by a team that had a tremendous record. The Indians in '98 set a new home attendance record, 3,467,299. And they had their consecutive sellout streaks reached 292 games. For the 3rd straight year, all games were sold out. Really incredible. Now, the coaching staff, we had a new coach, Al Bunbury, who he was a tremendous player back in the 70s for the Orioles. And the Orioles had these 4 outfielders, Don Baylor, Al Bunbury, Paul Blair, and Don Buford. Baylor, Bunbury, Blair, and Buford. So that was really funny. Bunbury was a tremendous player. He was helping the players with hitting and base running and base stealing because he could hit and run. Bunbury was from Fredericksburg, Virginia, center fielder, mostly for the Orioles from 72 to 84, and then his final year in 85 with the Padres. He was an All-Star in 1980, won a World Series in 1983 with the Orioles, was the American League Rookie of the Year in 73, and he's in the Orioles Hall of Fame. He hit .281 for his career, 54 home runs, 402 RBIs. And actually, before his pro baseball career, he served in the Vietnam War in the U.S. Army and won a Bronze Star. He led a platoon in Vietnam. Then after his playing career, he coached for the Red Sox, Orioles, and Tribe. Al Bunbury. Really cool having him in Cleveland. Johnny Gorel was back for another year as coach. Good guy, Johnny Gorel. Louis Isaac also was back, and he won the Frank Gibbons Steve Olin Good Guy Award. Also, Charlie Manuel was back. Also, he was a batting coach, real good guy. Jeff Newman as well was back. Mark Wiley, the pitching coach, who did such a good job. Our bullpen catcher again was Dan Williams. And Mike Hargrove again was back as manager. Now in the broadcast booth, Herb Score was retired, so life was going on without Herb Score calling games. Tom Hamilton was the primary radio guy doing games, broadcasting Indians games, and then Dave Nelson, who had been the tremendous player and a coach, he gave it a shot in the broadcast booth and worked with Tom Hamilton, and also Mike Hegan did games on the radio for the Indians. In the field, Brian Giles was in left field at .269, 16 home runs, 66 RBIs, and 10 stolen bases. Another fine year for Brian Giles. Kenny Lofton was in center, hit .282, 12 home runs, 64 RBIs, 54 stolen bases. Another amazing year for Kenny Lofton. He made the All-Star team, and he was a free agent pickup. Remember, he had played with Atlanta the year before. He wanted to come back because I guess he missed Cleveland, and so he signed. We brought him back. So that was nice to have a guy back from the 95 Tribe. Manny Ramirez was in right field, had an incredible year, hit 294, 45 home runs. Wow, 145 RBIs. That's incredible. Made the All-Star team, was the Indians' Man of the Year, and won the Gordon Cobbledick Golden Tomahawk Award. Incredible year for Manny Ramirez. Our new third baseman was Travis Fryman, who hit 287, 28 home runs, 96 RBIs, 10 stolen bases. Tremendous year for Travis Fryman. Fryman was from Lexington, Kentucky, third baseman for the Tigers and Tribe between 1990 and 2002. Five-time All-Star, won a Gold Glove, hit 274 for his career with 223 home runs. Tremendous, 1,022 RBIs. He's currently a Tribe minor league coach, very devout Christian. He went to church every Sunday growing up, and we picked him up in a trade from the Diamondbacks with Tom Martin for Matt Williams. So Matt Williams just had that 1 year with Cleveland. Williams wanted to be with his he was separated from his wife. He wanted to be closer to his children who were out in the West Coast, or out in the West. Okay, so Travis Fryman had a tremendous year. Omar Vizquel at short at 288, 2 home runs, 50 RBIs, 37 stolen bases. Very good. Won a Gold Glove again and made the All-Star team. Another fine year for Omar Vizquel. David Bell was our second baseman. Hit 262, 10 home runs, 41 RBIs. The son of Buddy Bell. It was cool having Buddy Bell's son. Grandson of Gus Bell, who played in the majors. But we traded him on August 31st for Joey Cora. So he was not on the team. He was gone by the end of August. Still, it was fun having David Bell in Cleveland. Jim Thome had another tremendous year. Hit 293, 30 home runs, 85 RBIs, and made the All-Star team. Sandy Alomar was our catcher. Hit 235, 6 home runs, 44 RBIs, in 117 games, and he also made the All-Star team as well. We had a lot of All-Stars on that team. David Justice was the DH, hit 280, 21 home runs, 88 RBIs, 9 stolen bases. Fine year for David Justice. Now, the bench players included Mark Whitten, who hit 283. He was back. He'd been with us before. He was back again for a second stint. 6 home runs, 29 RBIs in 88 games, and he was a free agent pickup. Jeff Branson hit 200, 1 home run, 9 RBIs, 9 stolen bases in 63 games. Pretty good. Sean Dunston was a new player, hit 237, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, 9 stolen bases in 62 games, and he was a free agent pickup. Dunston was from Brooklyn, New York, shortstop for the Cubs, mostly for the Cubs, also the Giants, Pirates, Tribe, Cardinals, and Mets between 1985 and 2002. Hit 269 for his career, 150 home runs, 668 RBIs, 2-time All-Star. In his senior year of high school, he hit 790. Wow. He's currently a special assistant with the Giants. In 1996, he won the Willie Mack Award playing for the Giants for his spirit and leadership. And as I said, he was a free agent pickup, and we traded him on July 23rd to the Giants. Big trade with Jose Mesa and Alvin Mormon for Jacob Cruz and Steve Reed. So he was only with the team for part of the year. Sean Dunston. Pat Borders was a reserve catcher at 238, 0 home runs, 6 RBIs in 54 games. Enrique Wilson hit 322. Wow. 2 home runs, 12 RBIs in 32 games. Fine year for Enrique Wilson. Joey Cora was a new guy, hit 229, 0 home runs, 6 RBIs, 2 stolen bases in 24 games. Cora was from Caguas, Puerto Rico, a second baseman, played for the Padres, White Sox, Mariners, and Tribe between 1987 and 1998. He was an All-Star for the 97 Mariners and won a World Series with the 2005 White Sox. For his career, he hit 277, 30 home runs, 294 RBIs. He was a coach for the White Sox from 2004 to 2011, the Marlins in 2012, and with the Pirates from 2017 to the present. In 1986, he was playing college baseball in Vanderbilt, and he was stabbed in the stomach and arm by 2 fans in San Antonio, Texas, when he was waiting outside the team bus. 6 weeks on the disabled list. He's a very popular player on the Mariners for his hustle, grit, and good nature. In 1995, after the Indians eliminated the Mariners, there was footage which showed Joey Cora crying in the dugout, which endeared himself to Mariner fans. He cared so much. He's the elder brother of Alex Cora, who is the current Red Sox manager. We picked him up in that trade from the Mariners for David Bell. Joey Cora. Geronimo Berroa hit 200, 0 home runs, 3 RBIs in 20 games. Berroa is a new player he was from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, an outfielder for the Braves, Reds, Marlins, A's, Orioles, Tribe, and Tigers, Blue Jays, Dodgers, and Giants. Really moved around from 89 to 2002. Hit 276, 101 home runs, 382 RBIs. He's in the Caribbean Baseball Hall of Fame. And on June 24th, we traded him to the Tigers for pitcher Tim Worrell. Geronimo Berroa. Einar Diaz was another spare catcher, hit 229, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs in 17 games. Jeff Manto was back, hit 216, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs in 15 games. He was a free agent pickup. The Tribe acquired him 6 times and let him go 6 times. They couldn't make up their mind about him. And Manto said this, quote, "I loved it in Cleveland, but then I loved everywhere I wore a baseball uniform, especially a major league uniform. I never had a bad day in the major leagues, although I never had many." He worked after his career as a batting coach, and he said, quote, "I know what it's like to be mediocre. I can get across to them now to play through heartache, what it takes to play through slumps." Jeff Manto, really good guy. So he was back for another stint. Cecil Fielder played for the Indians. He hit 143, 0 home runs, 0 RBIs in 14 games. He was a free agent pickup. Fielder was from Los Angeles, California, first baseman DH for the Blue Jays, Hanshin Tigers in Japan, the Tigers, Yankees, Angels, and Tribe. So this was actually the end of his career. Played from 1985 to 1998. Hit 255 for his career, 319 home runs. Wow, 1,008 RBIs, 3-time All-Star. Won a World Series with the Yankees in 96. His son, Prince Fielder, also became an MLB star, and he also hit 319 home runs. Interesting. They're the only father and son to each hit 50 home runs in one season. When Fielder played in Japan, his nickname there was Wild Bear. In Detroit, they called him Big Daddy because of his big smile and peaceful temperament. He was a very slow runner. He set a record. It took him 1,096 games to get his first stolen base. So Cecil Fielder, fun having him in Cleveland. Torey Lovulo was a new guy, hit 211, 0 home runs, 1 RBI in 6 games. Lovulo was from Santa Monica, California, an infielder for the Tigers, Yankees, Angels, Mariners, Tribe, Phillies, Yakult Swallows in Japan from 1988 to 2000. He coached the Blue Jays from 2011 and 2012, the Red Sox from 2013 to 2016. He's been the manager of the Diamondbacks from 2017 to the present. He won a World Series with the 2013 Red Sox as a coach. Last year, he was the National League Manager of the Year. In his career, he hit 224, 15 home runs, 60 RBIs. He was the Red Sox manager interim in 2015 when John Farrell got sick for 48 games and had a record of 28-20 as a manager. He had a long minor league career, played 1,433 games, had 1,193 hits, a 267 average, played for the Toledo Mud Hens, the Columbus Clippers, and the Buffalo Bisons. Torey Lovulo. Alex Ramirez was a new guy, hit 125, 0 home runs, 0 RBIs in 3 games. Ramirez was from Caracas, Venezuela, South America, an outfielder for the Tribe, Pirates, Yakult Swallows in Japan, and the Yomiuri Giants in Japan, and also the Yokohama Dena Bay Stars in Japan. His career in the MLB was from 1998 to 2000. His MLB average was 259, 12 home runs, 48 RBIs. He had a very long career in Japan, hit 301 with 2,017 hits, 380 home runs in Japan, 1,272 RBIs, and he's currently the manager of the Yokohama Dena Bay Stars since 2016. He was an 8-time All-Star in Japan, won 2 titles in the Japanese series, played 12 years in Japan. He grew up in Puerto Rico, and I guess his family moved from Venezuela to Puerto Rico, and he has a Puerto Rican restaurant in Japan called the Ramachan Cafe. Alex Ramirez. He's a very strong Christian. He said this, quote, "I believe," this was when he was still playing, "I believe continuing to play baseball is my desire, but it's not my life. God has already blessed me with this career, and whatever God has planned for me, I will be happy to follow that, whether or not I play baseball again. It's not what I want, it's what God wants for me." Alex Ramirez. Matt Luke was a new player, hit .000, 2 games, 2 at-bats, didn't get a hit. He's from Long Beach, California, an outfielder, first baseman for the Yankees, Dodgers, Tribe, and Angels between 96 and 99. For his career, he hit .242, 15 home runs, 40 RBIs. He currently lives in Long Beach, California, working as a real estate agent, and he also is a speaker for the Dodgers. Matt Luke. Russell Branyan had his first year with Cleveland, hit .000, 1 game, 4 at-bats. Branyan was from Warner Robins, Georgia. Was a first baseman, third baseman, outfielder, played for the Tribe, Reds, Brewers, Devil Rays, Padres, Phillies, Cardinals, Mariners, Diamondbacks, and Angels between 1998 and 2011. Hit .232 for his career, 194 home runs, very good, 467 RBIs. They called him Russell the Muscle. He was known for his long-distance home runs. He generally had hit for a low average and high strikeouts. They called him 3TO for 3 true outcomes. When he went to the plate, usually he'd either walk, strike out, or hit a home run. In 2004, he hit the longest home run at Miller Park, 480 feet off of Greg Maddux. He has 2 daughters and a son named Cash, named after Johnny Cash. Branyan's divorced. In 2015, he was arrested breaking into his ex-wife's home in Tennessee, where he took some items and set the thermostat at a very cold temperature. Pretty funny. Although it was sad that he and his wife broke up. Holbert Cabrera had his first year with Cleveland, hit .000, 1 game, 2 at-bats. He was a free agent pickup. Cabrera was from Cartagena, Colombia, South America, played for the Tribe, Dodgers, Mariners, and Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Reds from and hit .257 with 18 home runs and 157 RBIs. Cabrera could run, kind of a light hitter, but he had played defense and he could run the bases. Jacob Cruz hit .000, 1 game, 1 at bat. Cruz was from Oxnard, California, an outfielder for the Giants, Tribe, Rockies, Tigers, Reds, Hanwha Eagles, and Samsung Lions, and the La New Bears. He was that was from 1996 to 2009. His average was .241 for his career, 19 home runs, 105 RBIs. He was Mexican descent, 3 years in Korea. And he played in Mexico in 2009 for the Chihuahua Dorados. He's been a minor league coach for the Diamondbacks and Cubs, and we picked him up in that trade from the Giants for Jose Mesa, Jacob Cruz. Richie Sexson had a good year, hit .310, 11 home runs, 35 RBIs in 49 games. Now on the pitching staff, Charlie Nagy was our ace, went 15 and 10, a 5.22 ERA, 33 starts, 2 complete games. Dave Burba was a new guy, went 15 and 10 as well, 4.11 ERA, 31 starts. Burba was from Dayton, Ohio, played for the Mariners, Giants, Reds, Tribe, Rangers, and Brewers from 1990 to 2004. His career record was 115 wins, 87 losses, 4.49 ERA, 1,398 strikeouts. Burba is currently the pitching coach for the Hartford Yard Goats in Connecticut. One time I was up at Westgate Shopping Mall in Rocky River here in the Cleveland area, and went to the Indian store, and they had a deal where if you spent $100 on items there, you could get a free Dave Burba bobblehead doll. And Burba was not on the team at the time. He'd been traded from the Reds for Sean. He was traded. We picked him up in a trade right before opening day for Sean Casey in 1998. Funny story, that year with the Indians, there was a game against the Cardinals, and Burba gave up a very long home run to Mark McGwire. And then he said this quote, "After he hit it, I looked into the dugout, and all my teammates were on their feet. looking at where the ball landed and laughing. I thought to myself, man, that's disrespectful, my own teammates. And at the end of the half inning, he came into the dugout. Charlie Manuel, the coach, had a big smile, and Burba was mad. And then Manuel said, quote, "Oh, hell, Burb, I just like watching home runs. I don't care who hits them, and that one was a beauty." That's a funny story about Dave Burba, who actually had a very good year. Fine career with Cleveland. Bartolo Colon was 14-9 with a 3.71 ERA, 31 starts, 6 complete games, and he threw 2 shutouts, and he made the All-Star team. Jarrett Wright was 12-10 with a 4.72 ERA, 32 starts, 1 complete game, which was a shutout. Dwight Gooden was a new player, went 8-6 with a 3.76 ERA, 23 starts, and he was a free agent pickup. Gooden was from Tampa, Florida, played for the Mets, Yankees, Tribe, Astros, and Devil Rays between 1984 and 2000. For his career, he won 194 games, lost 112, 3.51 ERA, 2,293 strikeouts, 4-time All-Star, he won 3 World Series with the 86 Mets, the 96 Yankees, and the 2000 Yankees. And he won the Cy Young Award for the National League in 1985. He was the Rookie of the Year in the National League in 84, threw a no-hitter for the Yankees in 96. He's in the Mets Hall of Fame. And so actually from that title team on the Mets, the Indians end up having 4 guys on that team: Keith Hernandez, Jesse Orosco, Rafael Santana, and Dwight Gooden. They called him Dr. K because he got so many strikeouts. On the 85 Mets, he went 24-4 with a 1.53 ERA, one of the greatest years for a pitcher ever. Sadly, he had battled cocaine and alcohol addiction, was arrested several times, and spent 7 months in prison in 2006. Chad O.J. was 5-4 with a 5.61 ERA, 19 games, and he had 9 starts. Mike Jackson had a tremendous year, was 1-1 with a 1.55 ERA, 69 games, 40 saves, and he was our new closer. Incredible year for Mike Jackson. Paul Ossenmacher was 2-5 with a 3.26 ERA, 69 games, and 3 saves. Jose Mesa was 3-4 with a 5.17 ERA, 44 games. He had 1 save, and he was traded on July 23rd to the Giants. Because, he was still, the fans were upset because he blew the save in Game 7 of the World Series. So I think it was best that he leave because it was probably hard on him as well to stay in Cleveland. And I think he's probably still haunted by that. So Jose Mesa was gone. Paul Shuey was 5-4 with a 3.00 ERA, 43 games, and 2 saves. Eric Plunk went 3-1 with a 4.83 ERA, 37 games. And we traded him to the Brewers during the year for Doug Jones. Alvin Mormon was 0-1 with a 5.32 ERA in 31 games. Ron Villone had no decisions, a 6.00 ERA in 25 games. Villone was from Englewood, New Jersey, played for the Mariners, Padres, Brewers, Tribe, Reds, Rockies, Astros, Pirates, Marlins, Yankees, and Cardinals and Nationals between 1995 and 2009. So he moved around. His career record was 61-65, a 4.73 ERA, 925 strikeouts. He worked as a coach in the minor leagues for the Cubs. His wife, Brooke, appears in the VH1 reality show Baseball Wives. It had a premiere in 2011. And we picked him up in a trade from the Brewers for Marquise Grissom and Jeff Juden. So Marquise Grissom was gone. We just had that 1 year with Cleveland. Doug Jones was back. The tremendous closer from the 80s. He was 1-2 with a 3.45 ERA, 23 games, 1 save, and we got him in that trade from the Brewers for Eric Plunk. Steve Reed was 2-2 with a 6.66 ERA, 20 games. Reed was from Los Angeles, California, played for the Giants, Rockies, Tribe, Braves, Padres, Mets, and Orioles between 1992 and 2005. For his career, he was 49-44 with a 3.63 ERA, 630 strikeouts. We picked him up on the July 23rd trade from the Giants with Jacob Cruz for Sean Dunston, Jose Mesa, and Alvin Mormon. Steve Reed. Tom Martin was a new bullpen pitcher, was 1-1 with a 12.89 ERA, 14 games. Martin was from Charleston, South Carolina, pitched for the Astros, Tribe, Mets, Devil Rays, Dodgers, Braves, and Rockies between 1997 and 2007. And his career record was 11-9 with a 4.92 ERA, 224 strikeouts. We picked him up in the trade from the Diamondbacks with Travis Fryman for Matt Williams. Tom Martin. Jim Poole was back. He had no decisions with a 5.14 ERA in 12 games. He was a free agent pickup. Steve Karsay was a new bullpen pitcher, was 0-2 with a 5.92 ERA in 11 games. Karsay was from Flushing, New York, played for the A's, Tribe, Braves, Yankees, and Rangers between 1993 and 2006. For his career, he was 32-39 with a 4.01 ERA, 458 strikeouts, 41 saves. And in 2012, he was a Tribe minor league coach, and we picked him up in a trade from the A's. Steve Karsay. Rick Krivda was 2-0 with a 3.24 ERA in 11 games. Krivda was from McKeesport, Pennsylvania, played for the Orioles, Tribe, and Reds between 1995 and 1998, so this was the end of his career. His career record was 11-16 with a 5.57 ERA, 165 strikeouts. He played for the U.S. Olympics baseball team and won a gold medal. In the minor leagues, he had a long career, was 91-50. In McKeesport, Pennsylvania, there's a monument to him and women's basketball star Swin Cash, who's also from that town. Rick Krivda. Tim Worrell had no decisions with a 5.06 ERA in 3 games. Worrell was from Pasadena, California, played for the Padres, Tribe, Tigers, A's, Orioles, Cubs, Giants, Phillies, and Diamondbacks between 93 and 2006. He had a career record of 48-59 with a 3.97 ERA, 758 strikeouts. His younger brother Todd Worrell was an MLB closer for the Cardinals and Dodgers. In 2005, Tim Worrell was on the disabled list because of personal psychological issues. He's currently a coach with the Peoria Padres. We picked him up in a trade from the Tigers for Geronimo Berroa. Tim Worrell. Okay. Jason Jacob was 0-1 with a 4.40 ERA 1 game, and he started a game. Jason Rakers had no decisions and a 9.00 ERA in 1 game. Rakers was from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, pitched for the Tribe and Royals between 1998 and 2000. His career record was 2-0 with an 8.76 ERA, and he had 16 strikeouts. And finally, Mark Whitten, who was a hitter, he also pitched a game that year for Cleveland. Had no decisions, an ERA of 9.00. He pitched in 1 game, pitched for 1 inning, gave up a hit, walked 2 batters, and struck out 3. Struck out the side. So the 1998 Tribe, yeah, that was a tremendous year. We had all those sellouts. They had another winning year. They won the division again and got to the ALCS. So a lot of excitement. God bless all those fellows who played for the Tribe in 1998. They are forever champions of our hearts. God bless everyone else associated with the team in 1998, including the fans. Captains of the Cuyahoga, lovers of Lake Erie, Terminal Tower Power, fans of the Free Stamp statue, Tribe Rules, Cleveland City of Champions. It's been 70 years since 1948. This is our year. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.